For topic number 3, Shira, you brought this to the table, so I'll let you set it up. But essentially, this is YouTube banning AI monetization. So, tell me about this. What's going on?
Yeah, they added going into the long weekends part of their partner program policies where if you're a YouTube partner, you can monetize your channel. And typically you have to reach certain thresholds, right? A certain amount of subscribers, views, etc. And then you get a rev share, you get revenue off your views in your channel. And now what's been happening a lot on a lot of these content platforms, not just YouTube, Instagram, even something like Pinterest, is mass produced content, like AI slop, as they call it, where people are just banging out content. AI is producing it at mass and it's flooding these platforms. And with that, it's competing against originality, right? And it's also low quality. It's not good. I think a lot of these platforms are looking for both. They're looking for obviously the views and people to create more, but also how do they get revenue off advertisers? And if the quality of the content, the community sucks, are they going to lose advertiser interest in the quality, right? And now YouTube's getting into YouTube TV, of course, and premium and all that. So it definitely shifts the platform. And so I think they really took a powerful stand to say that they're going to demonetize channels that are mass producing content, where it's very clear that it's just AI. This is not this is questionable to say a real company, real person, a real person. I'm sure there's people behind it, but really distinguishing between originality and what they look as the content and what they want people to build on the platform and where the industry is right now headed. And I think this was set a really huge precedent. John Oliver had a great segment on this on his show the other weekend. Like, people are on Pinterest to look at inspo and real ways to maybe tweak their, design and, depending on how you use Pinterest, it could be for weddings or outfits or parties or your garden or interior design. But then if all you find are these AI pictures, that it's like, how realistic is this? It's just an AI picture. It's inspo, but like, it's not actually something real that I could do because someone hasn't done it. It's just AI right now. And so it's really decreasing the quality of these platforms. So that's basically what happened with YouTube. I think it's interesting. Right now, a lot of these platforms have ways to turn on and notify you if this is AI, notify the platform, which they're encouraging people to do because it's a transparency issue. But then there's the second stage, or I think Neil Mohan, the CEO, took, was really saying, one, we want people to know this is AI, and we're going to make sure you can't really monetize. So it kind of cuts out the business model of this, which is huge. Doesn't mean it's not going to be there, but if they can't make money on this platform doing this, then there will be less of it, which prioritizes the human creativity.
I mean, what we're really talking about here is the predicted, the obvious risk of the AI content apocalypse, right? If you can mass generate high quality or high enough quality content, text, audio, video, chats, messages, posts, then there are many, many people in the world who have an incentive to do that. Whether they are state actors wanting to flood the zone with misinformation and disinformation, through to commercial actors who just want to, who want to try to monetize this content, through to cultural actors and political actors who want to move opinion, win campaigns, or just be toxic and disgusting. So there's many, we talk about the AI alignment problem. I've been saying for a long time, the problem is not the AI running rogue in the short term. The problem is the AI doing exactly what we wanted to do, to meet our incentives and do lots of junk. As Human Radfire has said on the show a few times, the problem is not just AI alignment, the problem is human alignment. Humans are not aligned. Why would we expect the AI to be aligned?
True. We're not even, by the way, aligned with ourselves, let alone each other, right?
Now, the problem with this is, of course, AI is a spectrum. Everything is touched by AI. Every photo you take in your iPhone, it goes through an AI pipeline and is improved by AI. And many of the assets or the editing of this show is ultimately going to get touched by AI. What I'm saying is this is going to be a question of emphasis. It's a question of taste. How much AI is too much and how shitty is too shitty for it to be worth monetizing for YouTube. And so what I'm saying is this comes down to this fuzzy line, this line that's really around taste and judgment and how much of it is automated and low quality. It's a moderation problem. You know, there's this saying, you know, I don't know if it's porn, but I'll know it when I see it. Or I don't know how to define porn, but I know it when I see it, right? And so that's the moderation problem. I don't know what is AI slop, but I know it when I see it, right? And so there has to be people or algorithms or other AI on the other side saying, no, this is shitty AI and this is high quality AI.
And they're not going to be like, no, like, what if they had a little side convo with each other? Like, hey, bro, you know, don't cancel me. Like, you know, we got to survive. We got to help one another. Like, okay, I'll tell them that you're not so
bro,
shitty.
don't cancel me, bro.
All right, here's the thing. Yes, and I wrote about this in my newsletter. Check it out, the Alpha, where I talked about this and went deep on it and what it means and its impact on creators and influencer marketing and all these things and platforms. But there's a difference between using AI as a tool and then what we're seeing where it's literally just clearly a script that was written with AI, B-roll and pictures that were AI, voiceover that was AI. There is no human touch to it. You know, it's generic, boring content. Not even boring. I mean, clearly it's getting views, some of it. There's no originality to it. It will be interesting to see what it deems as that. And then, you know, there's some people that now might have an original storyline, but yeah, what if all the animation is AI? You know, is that considered AI slop? Like, I do think it's going to bring that up. My hope is that there's a clear stance, but this is, you know, you hope. But in the end, it's all gray area.
That's my point. It's only going to get grayer, right? Because you can produce or at least you will in the foreseeable future be able to produce very, very high quality content produced by, you know, mostly written by AI, mostly, you know, the pixels mostly generated by AI. And you could imagine a world where most entertainment or some entertainment is generated on the fly by AI. Like I could say, you know, I'm a Star Trek nerd. They're not making Star Trek that I like. You could imagine like saying, hey, make me a story about Captain Kirk on the Enterprise doing this, this, and this. And I wanted to make sure that it doesn't have this, this, and this. And having my own personal Star Trek episode, right? And so is that AI slop or is that high quality branded IP from, you know, Paramount? So this line is going to keep moving. And I think finding the line is a problem of taste and judgment and vigilance. I agree with your final point that you made earlier, Shira, which is if you demonetize this, you are slashing the business imperative, which will, you know, radically depress the scale of the problem. Might it, you know, have an unintended consequence of depressing innovation, like, you know, AI generated high quality video productions? I think if they're applying this rule judiciously, I think it should end up being fine. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out.
So to be fair, when those people start and just put something out, they're not monetizing anyway right away, right? So say they do grow and they become a legit channel and they're getting attention, they could probably at that point, they probably have representation. They could go to YouTube directly. Hey, we want to, you know, we're getting hit with this is mass-produced AI. Can you look at this? Like at that level, you probably have someone you're in touch with. If you've, you know, gotten that much attention, it's gone viral or something, right? I think there's a difference between that and just like if you're flooding the system. I think there's even at a certain point where you can't tweet. Like I don't know if there's a max amount, maybe not on X or whatever, but if you're posting like every minute, every hour at a certain point,
rate limiting,
system's like, no, this is clearly a robot. I think that's what we need to make sure to manage, because I don't know if any of us want to live in that type of world where I guess there's like only so much we can consume, and then it really does flood the system, and it's going to dilute the monetization for a lot of actual creators. So this is a question of what type of community they want to create.
All right. Well, these are our thoughts on AI content, AI bots, and YouTube's choice and decision to demonetize clearly AI mass-produced content. What do you guys think? Join us down in the comments below.